Hello, Hockey Illuminati Nation. Welcome back inside the Hockey Illuminati podcast, episode 40. I am your host, Frank Rupi, aka the Hockey Illuminati. Thanks for being back here, my friends. Listen, I got a favor to ask you. If you're here listening, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to us wherever you're listening, do us a favor, hit that button right now. We got a great guest today, comedian, diehard Leaf fan, one of Canada's biggest beauties. He's very pretty. Ricky Rowley joins us from his home in Toronto. Welcome to the podcast,
going on, buddy?
How are you, buddy?
Good, man. Good. It's finally nice to draw a fucking face to a name, eh? See you lots online, but now we get to chat one-on-one. I'm fucking stoked.
You have an unreal background. What do you have going on there for your pretty Ricky?
I moved downtown Toronto, and my girl spruced up this den into like a nice little fucking, look at that. Oh shit, Ross the Bosseray.
Wow.
Yeah, that was I just picked up a Value Village right there, and there's that's Goon right there, and then I just spruced it up with some photos of some of the young studs. I got one from every team, so
you gonna get a photo of the Illuminati up there, Ricky? If I send you one,
I'll put one up there, buddy. Why not?
Okay. You want a rated R photo or 18A, PG-13? What are you cool with?
Give me whatever you'd send in the fucking DMs, buddy. Nice and greasy, all right?
Okay. I'll send you a gift basket of photos. You can choose from one. Okay, Ricky.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. So, Ricky and I, we got some similarities. We're both around the same age. We're both content creators playing in this social media hockey game. And we're both former tendies as well. We're going to get to that in a minute. But I know another similarity that we at least maybe once had was our love for darts, a.k.a. cigarettes.
Yeah.
Are you on the butts right now, Ricky, or did you get off?
No, I'm off. I had no idea that you smoked, bro.
Years ago, I smoked. I haven't had a cigarette in years, but I was definitely... Oh, I was a lover of fine Tinos. Let me tell you, Ricky. I was so addicted and I loved it. But I've been clean for about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years now.
Good for you, man. Yeah, I used to fucking hack them for like breakfast and shit like that. But right before, like I used to get them from like the reserve too, like the
greasy Ricky. Oh.
Yeah, the bag darts too, man.
Where you get 5 cents a dart for those?
Yeah, like you get a bag of 200 for like $10, and I was fucking losing IQ smoking these things. So actually, right when the pandemic started, I went completely off of it. I switched over to fucking little juicy Nicorette. So so I've been doing that for about 2 years. But yeah, no, I haven't touched a dart, man, for a while. So
good for you, buddy. So you've been 2 years without a Tino.
Yeah. How about you? Like, how'd you quit?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. So when I was playing hockey, I was always like an on and off smoker. Like when the off season came around, like I was hacking. And then when the season started, I'd like save my Tinos for like a shutout or like a big game, which didn't happen all that often. So I don't know. You know what, man? I just kind of, I think I just grew out of it and got sick of it.
Yeah. To be honest, man, now that I don't smoke anymore, like the smell is actually pretty fucking,
it's disgusting. Yeah. And it's like, I remember too, I mean, if there's anyone listening who's a cigarette smoker and they want to quit, I know there was definitely a point in my life when I was like, I don't think I'll ever be able to enjoy life without cigarettes because they're just so good.
Yeah.
They are. Like when you're addicted to Tinos, like that first Tino after a beer, that first one in the morning with a coffee, like, is there anything better than that?
No, and after, like, especially after a fucking Leafs loss, I remember, like, definitely hacking a few after that. They're great after fucking post smash, like, whatever you want, man. Like,
yeah. But I never thought I would quit, but I did. So if there's anyone listening, there is hope.
Good for you. Yeah.
And Ricky, we're both students of that ability to kick that nasty habit.
Yeah, quit while you can, man. That's what I say.
Yeah. So anyways, Ricky, tell me a bit about your childhood. You grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I grew up in Napanee, Ontario. So most people know it as fucking Avril Lavigne's hometown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe the conspiracy that she died and they replaced her with a body double?
I don't fucking know. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. She was shacked up with Chad Kroger for a little bit. All I know is Yeah, a few years ago, she came back to Napanee and they were like celebrating her, and they fucking closed down like the road to like the main road to get back to my house. So I had to drive around all the country roads to get home. So as far as I'm concerned, she's a fucking mutt. But no, I think I'm pretty sure she's still alive, bro.
It's one of the wilder conspiracies out there, and of course I'm the Illuminati. I got all these conspiracies, right? But just Google that one, and like, there's actually some compelling evidence to suggest it might have happened.
I haven't seen her in Napanee, so fuck. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
You'd think she'd come home, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen her around, so
yeah. And so, what possessed you to put goalie equipment on? Because I know you were a former tendy.
Yeah. So I actually started hockey like really late. So most people ask me if I play puck because I talk so much about it. I actually did. I started when I was like 12 because, yeah, I just, I don't know, man. I kind of got into it like a little bit later. And so this was nuts. I actually started in rep hockey like right away, like not even like fucking house league. So I didn't want to play in Napanee because like my buddies were playing rep and I would have just been, just awful, right? So
Yeah.
I fucking signed up and I ended up playing for the Deserano Bulldogs, which is right on the reserve.
Dude, I played against the Deserano Junior A team when I was in the Greater Metro Junior Hockey League. So yeah. I know the town, and it is definitely a big native reserve Tino town.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, my mom would go out there and get like, fucking darts and like gas and shit. So I ended up playing for this team. And I think our first game was against like Sterling or like Wellington or something like that. So we just show up, and then turns out they didn't even have a tendy. Like we were ready to play this game and they needed a fucking tendy. And they're like, does anyone want to volunteer? And I was like, well, I guess I'll do it. So I'm going into, and this is like, at this point, I think we're like at Pee Wee hockey. So the kids aren't like that bad, right?
Yeah.
And let alone, I never even played goalie, but I never even played hockey. And then I offered to play fucking net. And I did all right. Like, I think we lost the game. I think it was like 17-0 or something like that. Like after like 2 periods. And I swear to God, our team was trying to mercy it. Like, we're just like, we're done. Like after 2 periods. Yeah. And the coach on the other team was like, no, let's keep fucking going. And I was like, yo, man, this guy's just psycho. Like, who wants to keep going when you're like just pounding a team that badly? So yeah, so I ended up just playing. I was a huge fan of Cujo, so I got into it, and I always tried hard. So I only played hockey for probably about 3. Believe it or not, that wasn't the experience that got me not to play hockey anymore. Like you think that would be enough right there, but I ended up like I was actually a third goalie on the high school team, and then the teachers loved me so much that I got to play with them like after school and shit. Like
nice.
they'd sauce and stuff. But yeah. That was it for me. I was always more of a fan of the game. Like I wanted to work on Hockey Night in Canada, and be around the media. I never really had a lot of interest like playing in the show, but yeah, I was a fucking sieve, bro.
I'm right there with you, buddy. And funny enough, I didn't start playing hockey till I was a lot later than the average Canadian would, right? Like I think I was 11 or 12 as well, and I played a year or 2 of house league as a forward, and then. Same kind of thing. My dad was coaching a team one year. One night we didn't have a game, and he forced me in the net, and that was it. So I feel like that's how a lot of goaltender stories begin. Is that they were forced in.
Yeah, but I looked you up. I looked you up on Elite Prospects. You were in the NCAA.
I played 1 game in the NCAA, Ricky. So it's funny. People ask me about this all the time. I had such an interesting. So I played a couple years of AAA in the Toronto area. And then I played 2 years of Junior A with the Toronto Moose in the Greater Metro Junior Hockey League, which is the fucking outlaw league.
What a name.
Oh, my goodness. Buddy, this league, you should have seen it. Like, it was – I can't even – that's a whole other episode how dusty this league was. But there were some sick teams. And, like, the team that I was on, we were pretty good. Anyways, no word of a lie, I got a shutout one night. There happened to be a scout in the stands that one night. I got the shutout from Adrian College, looking at a guy from the other team. Spoke to him. Next thing I knew, I ended up down there. And they had 2 programs in Adrian. They had an ACHA program, which is club hockey, and they had the NCAA program. So I spent 3 years with the ACHA team. But 1 year, the NCAA team, one of their goalies got suspended for being late to practice or something. They brought me up for the year. And I snuck onto the ice when my coach wasn't looking behind his back. I snuck into the net for a minute and a half, and I got credited on DB with an NCAA game.
Fucking A. And then you were nominated for the Hobby Baker, eh?
And then I turned it down.
Fucking A.
I turned it down to start the Hockey Illuminati. And
that's commitment right there.
And this podcast, yeah, buddy. Yeah. So no, that's cool, man. And I know now you're doing the comedy thing, which is cool. And like comedy, I have such respect for comedians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never done quote unquote stand-up comedy like at a nightclub or something like that. But
right.
You know, just being I guess somewhat of an entertainer and making content, I can only imagine how difficult that is to get up in front of an audience, right?
Yeah.
You kind of started cutting your teeth in comedy, going to some night or some open night mic stuff. Like, tell us how your comedy career kind of started.
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, I mean, I was a huge fucking class clown, so just the typical glue guy in life in general. I was always doing crazy shit, like in high school and stuff. And finally one night, my older brother, kind of urged me to do it, so I signed up for this fucking what I thought was just an open mic, and it turns out it was a comedy competition. So I ended up coming third place out of 30 comedians. And then I was like on cloud nine. I was like, buddy, I'm
your first time doing comedy, stand-up comedy.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I'm going to be the next fucking Jim Carrey. And then
your debut went a lot better than your goaltending debut, eh?
Yeah, for real. That's what I mean. I always knew I was better in the fucking, you know, on camera and like on stage than I was in net. But then I was a little cocky, right? And then I ended up getting booked to do this, like open up for this American comedian in front of like 100 like people that were there. I almost said fans. I get the two mixed up. But anyways, I forgot my material on stage because obviously I was still like really fresh. And then I went back on stage, like the back of the stage after the show, and I'm just fucking yakking, like just puking and shit like that. So you know, the comedian asked me, you know, like, what is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And I was like, yeah, fucking right. And he's like, well, then you got to take these bombs like right off the chin. So, needless to say, I've definitely bombed quite a bit of times. Oh man, I can't even begin to describe to you, but you know, it really does make you a better like comedian when you are like eating shit on stage.
Yeah.
So
I feel like no one can eat shit better than comedians, right? Like, and that is part of how you work at your craft. And it's so different. If you think of like, how do you get better as a hockey player? Well, you go to practice and you practice, but there's no one watching you when you're practicing. You can fuck up all you want. But for a comedian to get better, like for you to get your reps, you got to do it in front of an audience and fail maybe 100 times before you have a good outing, right?
Oh yeah. And there's times where you go out there and like, sometimes you just show up and you're like, I'm going to fucking bomb tonight. I can already tell. I'm like, whether it's the crowd, that's like, I mean, I've been paid to do corporates and gigs that, you know, maybe I wasn't ready for and shit, but I'd show up to like, fuck, I don't know, like Muskoka. And I remember one time I did a show, and then right after I did my set, like half the room stood up and started walking out in the middle of it. I'm just like, I'm like, this is gonna, and it's tough too because I call it playing on the road when I'm not doing comedy like in my hometown, like, well, where I live now, Toronto, right? But the drive home after a bomb, that fucking sucks, you know, because you got to ride home like 2 hours or whatever and sit there and just like think about it and remember. But yeah, I mean, it's in my opinion one of the most like one of the greatest forms of entertainment. It's underappreciated. There's so many like talented comedians that never get the attention. Like a lot of them have to move down to the States because there's like no one really gives a shit about them up in Canada. They're not making the big bucks or anything like that, which is unfortunate. But
what would be like a big comedy club in Toronto? Like a really sick one where like if you're performing there, like you would consider yourself like you kind of made it in the Toronto scene.
Well, probably the most like well known would be Yuck Yucks.
Yeah.
If you've heard of them, I mean,
I've been in the stands a few times for Yuck Yucks. Yeah.
They got like I think like 12 across Canada. They've worked me a little bit, and they sent me on my first tour. And I went to Alberta and I went to British Columbia with them. So
cool.
it was a fucking hoot. But you know, where you started, to be honest, like I feel weird for saying this, but like I have more followers than like most headliners in Canada, like online. So it just shows. I mean, obviously, like I've been working hard and stuff, but compare that with like some of the heavy hitters in America, right? Like it's not even close. So it's a lot of shitty gigs, sleeping on couches, and not a lot of exposure. And I did it for about I don't know, like 8 years, and I got more exposure maybe a week online than I did 8 years doing comedy. Like it's absolutely nuts because no one really cares.
It's true. And like when I look at comedy, I see it as one of the only pure forms of entertainment where nothing is off limits, right?
Yeah.
So comedy, like stand-up comedians are the only ones nowadays that can get away with saying whatever the fuck they want. They can take whatever type of offside, non-politically correct shots. So like the whole Dave Chappelle thing,
right.
With Netflix. But you can't make those types of jokes on movies or on TV anymore, right? So I feel like comedians are kind of the last beacon of like totally uncensored, raw, free to say whatever the fuck they want content. And you're right. And in Canada, it's not the same as it is in the States in terms of the exposure and the popularity, I guess, of comedians maybe.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, New York City alone has more comedy clubs than Canada. So that's why my buddies went down there. Right before the pandemic, I actually had a show lined up with this. The owner of the comedy club in the States actually was an Islanders fan, and he had heard, like, he'd seen my shit on like Chiclets or whatever. And I was going to book something with him and finally go down to the States. But because of the pandemic, that sort of got fucked up. And then it kind of just messed up like stand up in general for me because, the Zoom shows, bro, like I couldn't do that shit, man. Where you're going online and you're trying to like,
there's no energy with those Zoom shows. I mean, I would think that one of the most addicting things about being a comedian and what the comedians really love is like the adrenaline and the energy that's like at your fingertips when you drop a punchline and the whole room erupts. Like what a feeling that's got to be, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, when you're up there, you feel like you're fucking invincible. So it's and I've had my fair share of on top of bombs. I've had some fucking kills too. And right after that,
for sure, yeah,
it's way better. It's even better than fucking hacking darts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, it can't be.
I don't know, man. Like it's close, but I think crushing a big gig is like nothing quite like it. So I definitely miss it, and I've gone back to it, but it's been really tough with like in lieu of like everything that's been going on in fucking Ontario, right?
Yeah. What about crushing a show and crushing a dart at the same time, like Dave Chappelle would do?
There's select places where you're allowed to do that shit.
The smoke, yeah. Who is? Did you have a favorite comedian or someone you look up to over the years?
Well, my very first influence was definitely Jim Carrey. He was like the reason why I got into stand-up comedy. But like now, I just love watching all that. I would say I'm kind of like I'm drawn to like guys like Theo Von.
Okay,
if you know him.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you were gonna say Theo Fleury.
Oh no! Although his fucking tweets are pretty humorous too.
Although he's got some good stuff too.
He's got some bangers, but no, like he's like an American guy. He's like Southern United States. He's got like kind of got the accent. People say, people say when I'm on stage, I'm like, I get chirped sometimes, and people are like, "Oh, you fucking ripping off like." Whatever, like Cherry Park Boys, and
I'm sure you get that. Letterkenny guys.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, I laugh at that shit, man. Like it's like people who know me know I'm like, I'm a little off,
Yeah, that's okay. You're a goaltender. We're all a little bit off.
Exactly, bro. It's embedded in us at a young age.
This is my last question on comedy, and then we'll switch gears. I'm curious, when you're working on new material, do you try it out somewhere first? Like, would you try it on your buddies or your girl? Be like, hey, do you think this is funny? Or do you just roll with it and see what happens?
I think the best way to try new material is definitely at a club with like a live audience, because that way it's good. Like the more audience, the better, because that gives a gauge for like what is funny. But you can definitely have jokes that work at certain shows and they don't on others. But my girl has definitely been great for that too. Like she's actually helped me come up with more relatable humor, because I feel like when I first wrote it, it was pretty trashy. Like As you could probably imagine. But now that I actually have like an actual girlfriend and shit, I can actually make material that's like more relatable to people and stuff. So yeah, I would say like I get a little bit of help from that, but for the most part, the best way to do it is just to go out there and just fucking give her, you know?
Yeah, go out and give her. If there's one thing, one piece of wisdom you could take from Rick Rowley in this episode, go out and give her, right?
No other way.
Yeah. Speaking of going out and giving her, you went out and gave her in South America. I noticed the last couple of weeks you were down in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that like? I've never been to South America. I've always wanted to go. My mom was actually born in Argentina, and I've been itching to go one day. What was that like?
Oh man, it was unreal. So I went down there for about a month. Now, when I had left, Scotiabank Arena was still fucking full. Like it was almost like the country fell apart as soon as
Ricky left.
Yeah, as soon as I left, man. It was nuts. Like they went from full capacity to half to no fans. They fucking canceled the World Juniors, and then we ended up getting like a lockdown. But it honestly just went down there because my girl's family's from there, so I was doing like the whole like meet the family for the whole time, and it was a completely like unlike anything I'd ever experienced. I never even left North America before, so being down there for a month and the food, the beaches, man. Like,
did you run into any Leaf fans down there?
No, not at all, bro.
What about any hockey fans?
There was like maybe a few like online. Like when I was like posting a lot, like there'd be like people who started following me or like who'd chime in like maybe on Twitter, and they'd be like, and they'd be like, yeah. So that happened, but dude, like no one knew anything about fucking hockey down here. I was wearing my Leafs tarp, and someone asked me if it was the Toronto Raptors fucking jersey.
No, they didn't.
I swear to God, man. They didn't know anything about puck. I even found a skating rink when I was down there. And
not ice skating.
Yeah, man. It was
no way.
It was at a mall in a town called Juiz de Fora where my girl's from. And I went out there, and buddy, I
saw that you posted that actually. I remember.
I was the best fucking skater out there by far. They were all benders, man, falling on their asses and shit. I was like, straight up, I'm the best hockey player in Brazil, and I'm by no rights like good at hockey at all. So it was like. It was great, man. Like the people down there, I think they really like Canadians, man. Like
everyone loves Canadians. You go anywhere and they all love Canadians.
Yeah, I noticed that like, every time I said, "Oh fuck, bud," like I said that, they would all just start power laughing and shit. But not a lot of them knew about Canada, to be honest. But yeah, I mean the food was great, the beaches, the weather, like. Where do you even start? And obviously I was saucing quite a bit down there. So
as you should.
Yeah.
You know, there's two players born in Brazil to have played in the NHL.
I think I knew about one. Wasn't Robin Regier from
Robbie Regier?
Yeah.
Who played 1,000 games in the show. He had a really interesting life. He was born in Brazil. He grew up in Indonesia a little bit.
Was guy was in the military or something? How's
that? Yeah. And he also had he was in a crazy car accident where he broke both his legs while he was playing in the show, and then he came back.
Fuck, I never even knew that. That guy was a warrior though, because he played for the Flames in the when they were a wagon.
When they were on their run, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but even when I was sitting there eating breakfast one time in Brazil, they had this TV program where they were like trying to teach like hockey to Brazilians, and I don't remember a stick. The puck was called disco.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What the fuck?" And it was just like it was hilarious, but it was so far removed from anything that I've obviously been experienced being a Canadian. But it was a time, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. By the way, the other NHL player born in Brazil to make the NHL, some fella named Mike Greenlay, who played. He was a goaltender.
Oh shit!
And he played 2 games for the Oilers in 1990.
Fuck.
So there you have it. I noticed as well. Two. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I noticed as well, and this is why, Ricky, I think it's a Leafs year this year. And when I say Leafs year, I mean their year to win the first round. Not forget about the Stanley Cup. We just want to win the first fucking round, and then we'll worry about everything else. But you actually took a Leaf jersey up to the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which is one of the most famous landmarks on this planet.
Yeah.
And I would assume that you probably are the first guy to ever bring a Leaf jersey up there. You have to be. Okay?
I think so.
So that's got to mean something. Like that statue is there to protect the soul of humanity. And you got it close to, that statue. Jesus, I think maybe is going to give the boys a little extra luck this year.
Yeah, that was sort of an idea that I had when my girl told me that we were going to be going to Rio, and obviously I'd heard about the landmark, and I was like, buddy, I'm bringing the fucking tarp with me. I mean, obviously for a content piece, but I went down there and sauced a prayer for the boys. I only asked for a round, and people online were like, dude.
That's all we want, Ricky. Just one round.
Yeah, why didn't you ask for more? And I was like, buddy, give him a round first, and then you know what I mean? Like we'll see what happens from there. But it was just kind of an idea that I had in the back of my mind, and it was just like I mean just a beautiful sight. There were so many people there. I don't think anyone knew what the fuck I was doing. Like there was, and I was kind of blocking the way and shit. But I was like, nah, man, I came 8,000 kilometers down here. I'm like, I'm doing this. So at the end of the day, all I can say is sometimes when people are doubting you, it's the best time to like shine and like finally get over a hump. And that's what I'm going to say about the boys. I mean, they're so like doubted now that it's like, why not? Like, why wouldn't they finally like pull something? I don't know though. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to let Christ fucking and the hockey gods sort that out.
Yeah. They're the only ones that can sort that out, Ricky.
Yeah.
The hockey gods. Cause there's whether people believe in curses or mojo, woo-woo energy, whatever, there's something going around with this Leaf team. There is. You don't lose to a fucking Zamboni driver. You don't blow multiple 4-1 leads and, games, to the Habs last year, 3-1 or, it's like, but optimistically, did you watch All or Nothing?
Yeah, I caved and I ended up watching it.
I caved too, even though I said I wasn't going to.
Me too.
How could we not watch it? We love the boys,
Yeah.
But that final scene, okay, where Marner and Matthews are sitting in their gear for hours after the game had ended, and they haven't moved, and Marner's got the towel over his head. Matthews, looking at that scene, I think to myself, there's no fucking way these two guys are going to let that happen again. That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, whatever helps you sleep at night, right? No.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, you know what? That's actually like when I watched it too, because it was a pretty good documentary. Like I was actually like, I kind of thought Kiefer, I don't know, he was kind of a beauty actually, but
he is.
Yeah, but the whole thing was that like you watched it and you saw, just how fucking, just destroyed the whole team was and soupy and everything. And it's like, you have to think that at some point, that it's going to happen. It's going to happen in our lifetime, but it's like, when's it going to? And I don't know, man. Why not when everyone's ruling you out is the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the Cincinnati Bengals. They won their first playoff game in 30 years.
Yeah.
The other day, right?
And it's a lot easier, in my opinion, because the team, obviously the whole pressure thing has really like messed with them in the past, but to have it now where it's like, people are like, now they're sixth in the league, but they're third in their division, which is crazy, right? So it's like they might not even get home ice. So
what home ice? We can't even put fucking fans in the stands in this crooked country. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, for real, right?
The one thing that worries me when speaking about the division, like unless the Leafs finish first overall in their division, which I guess it could happen because they got games in hand on Florida and Tampa.
Yeah.
But unless they finish first, they're going to end up playing either Florida or Tampa. And like, do you want to play, even though the Lightning have played a lot of hockey in the last couple of years and they're not necessarily the same team as last year, do you want to have the boys go up against Andrei Vasilevsky?
I mean, ideally in a perfect world, no.
No, right? And like Florida too is terrifying. So like they are likely going to have to play Tampa or Florida in the first round, and that is going to be, we'll talk about Battle of the Titans in the first round. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's not against Boston. It's against a team where there's like not really a lot of rivalry. I mean, I think we match up well against those teams. Like, I mean, I'd have to look at like our past like fucking 5 games against them and shit. But traditionally, it's it's been competitive, right?
Yeah. I know. I agree with you, and I think the Leafs, they're gonna make a move at the deadline for sure. It's an all-in year.
Yeah,
I mean, Dubas is crafty. He's shown, that he's demonstrated that he's got balls. I mean, look what he did last year at the deadline, going out and getting Foligno. So
yeah.
I think they need another D-man, to upgrade Hole and another veteran leader on the forward group, maybe.
Yeah, which by the way, I gotta say, man, I really liked your meltdown when the Leafs fucking lost, because God knows there was enough of them going around from like Leafs fans, but I watched all of yours, man. I thought they were fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was going back to that. I mean, I was saying that you had to trade one of the members of the core. You had to split the core 4. That was the theme that I was driving home.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to be right. I hope people can look to that video and say you were fucking wrong, Frank, because I want the boys to win. But at that time, I thought you had to do it. I mean, they're all playing great hockey right now.
Yeah.
Right. But again, I don't care what you're doing in the regular season. Let's see you perform when it counts. Right.
Yeah. And that's what is what Leafs Nation wants right now, where it's like you can see it at the arenas and the games, right? Like everyone's just sitting there being like, none of this means anything right now. Like even if you're first in the division, first in the league, they were at one point this year. It's like it doesn't matter. We got to see.
Yeah. And speaking of Leaf games, Pretty Ricky, you used to hawk beers at Scotiabank Arena, didn't you?
Yeah. I got that.
Like,
so I got that job when I moved to Toronto, because when I first got here, I didn't have a lot of money because I didn't have a job here, right? So I needed something to help pay the bills, and I actually still do it like on the side, and I mean, once it comes back, you'll probably see me moseying around there, fucking.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah, hawking beers and shit, but yeah, no, it's a great job. Like I basically got it just so I could watch the Leafs games for free, and I purposely work in the 100 section so that we're not allowed to sell during the play. So during the play, I'm just fucking sitting right in the aisle, like clear view, just watching the boys. And yeah, it's like, it's a good job. Like it pays well. And obviously the people that are there that are fucking buying, like they take care of little old Ricky there too. I've served some pretty big beauties there. Like I actually served Daniel Alfredson.
Wow. Did you just spit in his beer before you gave it to him?
Man, now that he's retired, he's actually a beauty.
Oh, for sure he is.
Yeah, like he let's just say he took care of me pretty well. When I worked because I work Leafs and Raptors. In the Raptors final, I had fucking Barack Obama in my section too, which was yeah. I was like walking down there and we made eye contact, and I was just like, "Sup, bud?" to Obama, because I was like fucking nervous and shit, but I didn't want to say anything.
Did he give you one of these back?
No. He just like nodded back at me. But I worked the E-Bug game. Cool. So I was there for that, and it was pretty. Honestly, I was actually having a good time. Like I was like watching like these old season ticket holders just lose their shit, being like, why the fuck do I support this team? Like honestly, man, watching the meltdown was pretty hilarious. But yeah, I've watched like some playoff games there and stuff like that. Game 6 against the Bruins. Remember when we were supposed to close it out? I worked that game, and just like all of them. So honestly, man. Oh, I worked the Winter Classic too when we beat the Wings. So
I was at that game.
No,
I was at the one. I was at the one in Michigan.
Oh no. I worked the one at Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah, I forgot they had the one at Scotiabank. Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell people there because I get recognized there, and I get tipped pretty well actually too, just because of like, the online shit. And then I got this kind of like a little deal. So don't tell the people over MLSC, but I get fucking, so sometimes people tip me like $50 like for one beer and shit like that. Beers are already like $20. So I go get them a hot dog, like a fan, and then I always tell them, I'm like, here's your hot dog, Phil Kessel. So I got a nice little ritual there, but yeah, man, I'm more of a scout than anything. I just go there and I just enjoy the environment, and yeah, I can't wait to get back there, bro.
Can you give us an example of how you would hawk a beer?
I usually just go with the standard beer.
Yeah.
Get ice cold beer. I always do that. I don't know. It's kind of like a thing. People like know me for that now. So yeah. It's a great time.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Canada. Speaking of beer, there is probably not another country in the world where alcohol is more expensive than Canada.
Yeah,
think about it.
It's pretty nuts, man. When I was telling the people down there in Brazil that we charge fucking $20 for a beer, because that's the going rate for anything you're getting from me is $20.
Right, but even just a 2-4, you buy a case of beer from the LCBO. I mean, you're spending
like
$40.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, it's pretty pricey, man, and especially there at the arena too.
I don't know if there's another country outside of maybe like North Korea.
Yeah,
where alcohol is more, and that's what our government does, right? That's our alcohol is all completely federally controlled, But like when you're down in Brazil, I'm sure you get a beer for fucking 50 cents.
Yeah,
you go out here $7.
I know, man, and also too the exchange rate was pretty sick in Brazil. Like our dollar is like worth like 4 times a real. So it's like if I was out there and I bought, like, I remember one night I got like a fucking 2-4 beer for I think like, I don't know, like $5 or something. It was nuts.
Yeah, they have a bit of like a currency crisis happening in South America, and who knows, the way we've been printing money here in North America, we might have that same crisis at some point as well. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with the boys, man. I we're both hopeful this year.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to get lucky. I think this is going to be it, because, like you said, it's got to happen. It's got to happen eventually. Happen eventually. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're a team too that, unfortunately, obviously, that they become the butt of all jokes, right?
Yeah,
and it's people love to rip on them, and to be honest, it really doesn't bother me. Like,
it doesn't bother me either.
Yeah, like, because I come up with my own shit. I actually said this on when I went on the Mission Curfew podcast with those boys and shit like that, the one thing where I was always just like, whatever's, I hate the fucking French fans. I'm sorry, but like, I just don't like them. Yeah, like I've had guys like on there, like literally only fan base that's literally threatened me and said that they're gonna like fucking kill me and shit like that. And those French people, they're crazy, man. So they
are crazy, man. It's true. Like I still have people commenting on my posts. It was 3-1. This is now, we're months later. Like on my TikTok page, like there are still people on TikTok that hate me. Bro, shut the fuck up. It was 3-1. Like I'm talking about something completely outside of Leafs.
Yeah. I know, man, and that's the one thing about TikTok, man. The thing's a fucking free for all. Like the comment section too, they just go at you like whatever. Like the amount of, like, when I get online, like usually if I get posted on like a page, like let's say it's like, I don't know, like Chicklets, Curfew, like people just say like, yo, fucking Fubar did it already. Like that's pretty much the worst I get, like on Instagram. But like when I was using TikTok like a lot, like people would make fun of my fucking jibs and shit like that.
All the time. They're ruthless on TikTok, dude. People make fun of my nose and like all types of shit.
It's not a bad nose for it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a little crooked. I broke it a few times, but it's true. People, it's a younger audience, right? They're more immature.
Yeah.
I know you got fucked over really hard because you had your TikTok account was cruising at around 50,000 followers, which is great. And what happened? You got it got banned?
Yeah, I don't really know. I've heard of this happening to people before too. But sometimes when people get their accounts banned, they're able to like go to their fans and be like, "Yo, say something, like help me out or whatever," and they start fucking crying, and people help them get it back. I don't know. I tried appealing it, but they just said no dice for me. But I was, like during when it's not hockey season, right? Like I'm also a comedian. Like I'm not just, like, I mean, I guess, like you do the hockey, but obviously too, having the comedy background with me, I do a lot of like comedy videos and shit. And I would sometimes do those reaction videos. I had this one video where it was stupid. It wasn't even funny. Like I was just like fucking around, but there's this girl who brought a BB gun into her bathroom and she shot a fucking, I think it was like a cockroach. And I just made a comment back saying like, fuck, I think the cockroach was the cleanest thing in there. Like, it was just like, it wasn't even a funny, like, and then they ended up
pretty funny.
Yeah, well, they ended up removing my video and they said I was promoting gun violence.
What?
But they kept her fucking video up there. And then my account ended up getting like just banned. And I tried like appealing it and they just said no. And I was like, that's crazy. So yeah, like I lost it like right. They didn't even give me back like my videos or anything like that. And like it does kind of suck. Like I could sit here and say like it didn't phase me at all. But anything that like obviously when you're a comedian or like you, right, like promoting, like you need everything possible. And like 50K gave me more traffic. It gave me more.
Oh, for sure. TikTok's huge, man. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
that's where the audience I think is navigating to. I mean, you have a good split. There's still a lot of people that are using Instagram, but definitely with the younger generation.
Yeah, I would say I'm always gonna like even I liked Instagram more anyways, just because like to be honest, like more of like the hockey guys, like they follow me on that, right? Like they don't really, because like no one's really like those guys aren't really on TikTok. So I got more of like the I guess like the important eyes or people who could give me opportunities on Instagram anyways, but still
it's more business like on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, sure. Like, I mean, like I still need it. Like I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't need TikTok at all. So it's like, I've kind of tried like starting from scratch, and every once in a while I go on a binge of but it just like nothing really hits. And I'm just sitting there being like, come on. I'm like, fucking throw me a bone here, boys.
Yeah, TikTok's it's weird, man. Like I've had some of my videos taken down for community guidelines on TikTok as well. Not on Instagram, but it's happened on TikTok probably 3 or 4 times,
I've never had a problem on Instagram. No one's ever said my video is like bad, but TikTok it started happening, and then
TikTok it's happening, and it's scary because like I mean, why does TikTok get to determine what type of freedom of speech boundaries, are allowed to be explored? It's bullshit. And I mean, you do some other stuff outside of hockey comedy, just like regular comedy. I like to talk, some political stuff sometimes, what's happening in the world. And I've had a few of my videos removed and it's fucking scary, man. But I'm not going to stop doing it because like the way I see it is like, if you have a platform, what good is it if you don't use it to truly say and do whatever you want,
I actually wondered too, if there was like, if it wasn't so much like my videos were, violating community guidelines, or if there was someone out there that was like straight up, like, I mean, if you don't know me, right? Like I understand the first time, like if you see my videos online, you might think I'm like a dude who like just fucks with drugs and shit like that. Cause I get it, bro. I'm a little out there, but like, truth is, man, the only thing I do now is like I just sauce and stuff like that. I'm not like whatever, but I'm thinking that there's like some, I don't know, maybe like a chick out there with like blue hair or something like that didn't like fucking Ricky or something like that and just completely just axed me.
Maybe it was all those Habs fans you pissed off just submitting complaints over and over again.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I made jokes about fucking rubbing tugs and stuff like that, but I think that shit's hilarious. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That's
that's
good. But yeah, that's unfortunate, buddy. And if there's anyone listening, if there's anyone else out there, who has a TikTok account, don't fuck around with any gun related videos, I guess, because that seems to have been maybe a hot button, perhaps. And I guess you don't know for sure what got your account taken down.
Yeah, that was the last one, I think. So who knows?
Shit, buddy. Well, Ricky, that's the way she goes sometimes, as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys would say.
It's the way she goes.
Yeah. So Ricky, we're gonna wrap things up here with this is gonna be Frank and Ricky's top 10 ways to make the NHL better. Okay. It's already good. We enjoy it, but we got some things we think that could make it a little bit better. So
let's make it better.
Let's make it better. So here's our top 10 things. Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. This one's pretty good. I think they got to implement this right away. Number 1, free beer at the Scotiabank Arena. Okay, Leaf fans, we've been through hell. This is one of the richest teams in the league because of stupid Leaf fans who keep supporting this team over and over and over again and buying expensive shit. The least they could do. 1 free beer for every patron at Scotiabank Arena. That's what I'm going with.
Fuck, they would never do that. MLSC.
They should, though.
Keep Fox? No, I'm kidding. I love you, boys. You guys sign my paychecks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so that's mine. So we'll go back and forth. What do you got, Ricky?
Okay. So I've been liking fucking Wes McCauley lately, and I love like his like audio and like just like when he like shoots the shit and stuff. So I think referees, when they call penalties, they should say like they should explain to fans why they made calls and stuff like that. Yeah. Because a lot of times we're sitting there yelling at stripes and shit like that, right? And they say the call in the ice stands. That's always the thing. It's like, well, why? Like tell us why you did that. Because otherwise afterwards you just got a bunch of disgruntled fans ready to just fucking just jump the ref as soon as he leaves the barn. So
Ricky, that's genius. And like we're always at home trying to figure it out. And then the genius commentators are trying to figure out why the call happened. Yeah. I agree with you. The ref, we should get a 10, 15-second explanation.
Let the boys know.
Let the boys know. I like that. Okay. Now that wraps in nicely to number 3, which is me. I want to mandate that all the referees are either wearing glasses or contacts or have 20/20 vision, because the fucking reffing has been awful in the league this year. It really has. I mean, it's bad every year, but I feel like this year, like, oh my God, sometimes watching Leaf games and some of the missed calls like on Matthews, like it's, oh my God.
Fuck, he should be drawing a lot more penalties than he does.
Yeah. Get to be
the star player that he is. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So I don't know what type of vision correction we need, but I would mandate that the referees, let's check them all for 20/20 vision and make sure they're wearing glasses or contacts during the game.
That's a fucking greasy one right there. Okay. Yeah. I got so based
number
on
4.
Okay. So we were talking about like the all for nothing. So that's what I call it, all for nothing, the documentary.
Yeah.
And I love the behind the scenes. I think the NHL, the way they sell the game and stuff, it's not enough like just to show the actual hockey game. Show why these guys are fucking cool. Let's get like a live stream during intermissions. So like when you're like in the middle of like your game, you can watch your favorite team in the middle, watch the coach. Like if they're having a bad game, like watch the coach just fucking chew out the boys and hear how they respond and shit like that. Or if they're doing good, like hear the boys like talk and be like, yo boys, we're fucking like let's get the personalizer. I want to see a live stream, like a live video in intermissions, because I don't really want to watch the panel people anymore. Like Don Cherry isn't on air anymore, right? So
the panel has got it's at an all-time low in terms of entertainment. Like it's so agonizing. I don't think like a lot of hockey, no one's watching that anymore. But that's a great point though. And like the NHL, you see like the NFL, like guys doing live streams on Instagram like after the game. Yeah. NBA does some really cool up close and personal stuff. The NHL has got to pick up their marketing a little bit, I think is what you're getting at.
Yeah, everyone knows that during the intermissions, that's when you go like for like a piss or to go get another beer or like a smoke break. No one's watching what's going on, right?
I hear you. Okay, number 5. That's a good one. Number 5. This one's short and sweet and simple. You score shorthanded, guy comes out of the box, you're back to 5-on-5.
That's a good one.
right?
Reward the team for
reward the team, and that way you might see guys, you know, pressing a little harder to score shorties, which would be more entertaining, right?
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
The one that I had was, this is based on like old school like hot pee-wee tournaments and shit, but overtime go 3-on-3, and then if no one scores 2-on-2, and then fucking 1-on-1. Like that's pretty basic, but
yeah.
Let's get that going. I don't like shootout, to be honest, but if we can get like even just like a 1-on-1, like I think everyone would be. I mean, the guy would just be gassed, but by
push the nets up to the blue line for the 1-on-1.
Yeah. Get something like that going, man. You could have star player like Matthews on McJesus or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. The shootouts have gotten kind of stale, and it's a silly way to give away an additional point, which is so valuable.
Yeah.
Now, some would argue that maybe 1-on-1 is also a silly way, but
I
think it'd be more entertaining. I like that. I think that I've always thought that too. I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7, ways to make the game better with the Hockey Illuminati and Rick Rowley. I've always thought it'd be cool if they did a 1-16 playoff format. Okay, so forget this East-West bullshit. Just seed the teams 1-16. Who cares about the travel? It's playoffs. That's part of it, right? And that way you could see, like, you know, division rivals in the Stanley Cup final. You know?
I like that.
Like, I don't know why because, again, look how stupid this is. You're going to have the Leafs and Tampa. Right now, they're 2 top teams in the league, and they're going to have to play each other in the first round.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was fucking Batman's doing, though, because he's trying to get divisional playoffs. But, yeah, I see what you mean.
Batman's a greaseball.
yeah, for real. That's a good one right there. Okay, this is gonna be. I'm gonna try to explain this the best way possible. So, to prevent teams from tanking all the time for the draft lottery, what you do is the day they get eliminated. Now, once they start accumulating points, and the team that has the highest amount of points in the basement gets the first overall pick. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's like you don't do a draft lottery. So it's like Arizona, like the day that they get eliminated from playoff contention, now they have to start winning, and then if they have the most amount of points, they'll get first overall pick for non-playoff teams.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard some different ways to play with it so they don't tank. That's a new one. I like that.
Yeah, I think I heard it at a bar one night. I don't want to take complete credit for it. I might have been fucked up, but I'm pretty sure maybe I thought of it. I'm not sure, but I like that one is something.
Maybe you heard of it from yourself.
Maybe I did.
You're talking to yourself at the bar, and wow, what an idea.
Who knows?
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, number 9. I can't take credit for this one. I remember discussing this with my buddy one day years ago, but when the clock hits 0, you keep playing until there's a whistle. Okay, so like in the NFL, when we hit 0 seconds in the NFL, they keep playing, right? And that way you create a little more drama. You know, think of how intense, like, you know, that final moment would be. You know, buzzer beaters if, you know, 6-on-5, team still had possession, the clock was at 0, and they're playing till the next whistle.
That's actually really sick.
Yeah, only in the third period, though. Only in the third period.
Yeah. If you told me that you would have thought that, I would have thought that you're even fucking more genius, bro.
Yeah, I can't take credit for that one, but
no, that's cool. Okay,
that's a cool one.
last one.
What do you got, Ricky?
The last one I had was pretty simple. I got no salary cap.
Dude, I had no salary cap as well on my list.
Oh shit! Yeah. I decided. I threw that one in as an audible, bro, because I'm sitting here being like, remember back in the day with the Leafs, it was exciting. Like every year we'd get like the new fucking star, like Owen Nolan,
Jason Allison.
Yeah. Or like, who's the other guy that we got at the deadline? Ron Francis, Brian.
Buddy, who didn't they get?
Yeah.
That there was a great period there where the Leafs just spent.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but I understand trying to keep all these teams afloat and shit. But at the end of the day, Columbus, if you can't fucking make money, like it's not our fault. I'm sorry. Like, or fucking Arizona, like let the Leafs or pay like a luxury tax or something. Just get rid of the fucking salary cap.
Yeah, I mean, it would certainly make things very easy in Toronto and some of these other big markets, right? I mean,
yeah.
yeah, like the big market teams are driving, I like the percentage of the revenue you drive should there be a correlation to what your salary cap is? Now, again, that's not fair for like the Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Maple Leafs, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely for that. Let's throw the salary cap away.
Like, think about the EPL, which is like probably one of the most watched leagues in the world. Like, everyone knows that, like, the teams that are going to be fucking wagons, like, like Manchester United, Man City, like Chelsea and shit, like, because they got the money to be fucking good. So it's like, I don't know why we need to give chances to teams that, like, don't deserve it. That's just my opinion.
I mean, would the Leafs and Rangers in the Stanley Cup final, be better for hockey than, who could we see this year? Florida and fucking, I don't know, Vegas?
Yeah. I think so.
Probably, because our fan bases are huge, right?
Help the game grow more and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the Leafs win the Stanley Cup. I mean, as a fan base, the Maple Leaf fan base is spending more money on Stanley Cup merchandise than say, the Colorado Avalanche fan base, maybe,
Yeah.
Just because how much bigger we are.
Be my argument.
Okay. Well, we're going to see maybe if we can get through to Gary and maybe we'll kidnap him.
Yeah. Fucking pigeon
and force him. Speaking of pigeon, do you like pigeon soup?
No, I never had that.
You never had pigeon soup?
No, is that any good?
I never had it either. That's why I'm asking you. I don't know.
No, fuck. I never even heard about that.
Okay. Well, we'll get together for a bowl of pigeon soup maybe at some point.
Look forward
if and when restaurants ever open up in this fucking country and we can go out and enjoy our lives again.
Look forward to it, buddy.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, Pretty Ricky, this has been great. Appreciate you joining the Hockey Illuminati podcast. Where can people follow you on social?
Yeah, I mean, follow me on my socials, Rick Rowley 3 on Insta. I mostly use that on Twitter the most now, I guess. If you want to give a couple of follows on Rick Rowley Comedy, I'm just starting out on TikTok.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, you fucking assholes. And then I got a podcast too, The Beauty Sauce, and I'll definitely have to get you on there, right, bud?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to join. Yeah. So 2 calls of action for our listeners. Go follow Ricky on TikTok. Help him build his TikTok page back up. Okay. Rick Rowley Comedy, right?
Yeah.
And guys, if you're not subscribed, if you've listened all the way to the end and you're not subscribed to the Hockey Illuminati podcast, what the fuck are you doing? Go hit the subscribe button right now. Thanks for tuning in. Ricky, God love you. God bless you. Appreciate you joining the pod, buddy. We'll definitely collab again sometime soon.
Fuck yeah,
remember, we got episodes coming out every Tuesday on the Hockey Illuminati podcast. So thanks for tuning in, and we shall see you next time. Ciao, ciao.